Welcome everyone to our 53rd Annual Board of Governors meeting. This is a working meeting. Thank you for joining us really at this most unusual and extraordinary time. A few opening comments related to the safety of those that are joining us and presenting here in Israel. In the event that missiles are flying in our direction, we will be notified and we'll need to go to a safe place immediately. The meeting will continue, and those that are able to present will do so. In addition, President Gur El-Roi is on his way to the airport to catch a rescue flight back home. We hope that he will be joining us at some point in the meeting. This meeting's primary focus is to have the university's leadership update you on current events, on highlights from the past year, and there are also several fiduciary responsibilities that we will be working through, including important votes that require your attention and participation. The last update before we get started relates to the Board of Governors gathering currently planned in Boston. This, as all of you know, is a precedent for the university to hold a Board of Governors gathering outside of Israel. And it's something that we believe is important. And quite frankly, it is an experiment to see how this impacts the types of conversations we have. Those that hopefully are able to participate is a wider and possibly even a more diverse pool of supporters and governors. So we're looking forward to that. With that said, we do want to update you on a date change. The original dates for that meeting were September 14th and 15th in Boston. And due to circumstances that are out of our control, and you can begin to think about what those might be, we now have to change the dates, and we believe this will be the final date change to October 19th and 20th. That's a Sunday and Monday as well. We want to apologize for the inconvenience, and obviously we hope to see you all there. There will be an email that will go out that will clarify and give you all the dates, but thank you for your understanding. My name is Guido Hirscher. I'm the Vice President for Transformational Philanthropy and Global Resource Development. Here is an outline of the meeting's agenda today. We will begin with remarks from our chair, Brad Bloom, our chair, Brad Bloom, and then who will be followed by greetings from Duby Weissglass, our chairman of the executive committee, and then updates from the president and the rector. In addition, we will hold several live votes via Zoom during the session. Members will be guided through the voting process in real time. There will also be time allocated for questions from you, the members of our Board of Governors. You are welcome to write your questions in the Q&A feature during the session. The Q&A feature can be found at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. You'll either see the words Q&A, and if you don't, then you'll see 3 dots and the word more. If you press on those 3 dots, the option of Q&A will open up for you, and you'll be able to register your question. The request that we make is please note who your question is meant for. Okay, so let us begin with an update regarding the formal approval of new members to the Board of Governors. As confirmed by you through the online form at the beginning of the year, we are now proud to welcome 5 new governors, starting with Ambassador Redai Mansour, an Israeli Druze diplomat, poet, and historian, born and raised in the Druze village of Osfia, located near our university. At 35, Redai became Israel's youngest ambassador. And since 1990, he has held key roles, including Ambassador of Ecuador, Brazil, and Panama, as well as Consul General in Atlanta and Consul in San Francisco. A graduate of the University of Haifa, he also studied at the Harvard Kennedy School, where he was a Wexner Israel Fellow. Throughout his career, he has worked to foster dialogue and understanding between cultures and communities. Welcome, Ambassador Redai Mansour. Next up is Mr. Andre Gomel, an Israeli-French businessman and advocate for preserving Moroccan Jewish heritage. Born in Morocco, he has promoted academic ties with the University of Haifa and played a leading role in integrating Jewish history into Morocco's education system. Welcome, Mr. Gomel. Professor Tom Levy, a distinguished professor at the University of California at San Diego and the inaugural holder of the Norma Kershaw Chair in the Archaeology of Ancient Israel and Neighboring Lands. His groundbreaking research in climate, environmental, and social changes in the Eastern Mediterranean has led to long-term collaborations with the University of Haifa, particularly in marine archaeology and cyber archaeology, further strengthening the academic ties between Israel institutions and UC San Diego. Baruch haba, Tom. Dr. Michal Amir Salkin, an obstetrician and gynecologist with over 30 years of experience in healthcare and medical education. She taught at USC's Keck School of Medicine after retiring from her clinical practice. Michal is now joining the University of Haifa's Board of Governors, where she is expected to play a significant role in the development of the Herta and Paul Amir School of Medicine, as well as in leading the Board of Governors. We will address her nomination as chair of the board later during this session. Brucha haba, Michal. And last but not least, Orna Wollens is chair of the board of the Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles and previously served as its campaign chair. She sits on the boards of the Los Angeles Museum of Contemporary Art, MoCA, and the American Friends of the Israel Museum. A graduate of the Bryn Mawr College, she holds a Juris Doctor from Loyola Law School in Los Angeles. Her nomination as vice chair of the Board of Governors will be discussed later in this meeting. Welcome, Orna. A warm welcome to all the newly appointed members of the Board of Governors. We wish you every success as you take on this important and meaningful role. And now, our chair of the Board of Governors, Mr. Brad Bloom, will deliver his report.
Thank you, Gidon. And I'd like to also welcome our 5 extraordinary new members to the board. And really welcome all of our Board of Governors who are joining us today. I also see some members of the American Friends of the University of Haifa have joined us, a lot of staff from the university, faculty, so welcome to all. Before I begin reporting on our fiduciary responsibilities and the voting results, I want to say a few words regarding the decision to hold this meeting today. As Gidon said, Israel is going through extraordinarily challenging times. We're probably all checking our phones as we're on this meeting. And sadly, lives have been lost. And from here, we send our heartfelt support to everyone in Israel, extending our deepest condolences to the grieving families and our warmest wishes for a full and speedy recovery for the wounded. I would note that a member of our law school lost her life last week up in the Galil, and I know that the members of the administration in Gore have and will be visiting her family throughout this time in the near future. And of course, every day we remember and pray for the release of the brethren still held in Gaza, and we never forget them. Despite these challenging circumstances, and while the university currently operates mostly online, we felt it was once again important to go ahead with this meeting, to build a university for the future, and to continue the work that certainly the faculty and staff and the students do every day. Not only to fulfill our formal responsibilities, but also to send a clear and meaningful message. We are here, standing with the university, supporting its leadership, faculty, and students, and reaffirming our commitment in the face of adversity. In light of the challenges Israel has faced, both recent and ongoing over the past 2 years, and our continued commitment to hosting meaningful events, as Gidon said, we're going to have the upcoming statutory Board of Governors meeting, followed by a meeting in the fall where we will gather ourselves, but also invite other people to join us to hear more about the future of the university. As part of this meeting, we also invite other supporters and people who are interested in the long-term strategic goals of the university. Before we head into the formal part of our session, in terms of votes and such, I wanted to reflect on the last 6 years, during which time I've been able and very privileged to serve as the chair of the Board of Governors of the University of Haifa. As you know, that term began in June of 2019. At that time, one of the things I looked forward to was frequent visits to Israel. I subsequently visited in November of 2019, and then the pandemic hit us. Subsequent to that time, I've had some other challenges in terms of travel, so haven't been able to visit as often as I would like. But I will say there hardly has been a day gone by where I haven't been engaged with someone at the university, hearing about something new, something innovative, certainly working close with Ron and many of the other people that are on this call. So in spite of the challenges of COVID and the more recent challenges with October 7th and now Iran, the university has made extraordinary progress during this time. As you know, Ron Robin was our president until October 1st of 2024. And my time with Ron really consisted of weekly scheduled calls, much more frequent texts, as well as updates from other members of the faculty, various deans, etc. During the period of time, it's only been about 2 years that we first heard about the possibility of opening a medical school at the University of Haifa. And it's quite extraordinary, particularly when we share this information with heads of American medical schools, that in under 2 years, the University of Haifa will have opened up the Herta and Paul Amir School of Medicine, an extraordinary accomplishment. During that period of time, the Silverstein family of law building was opened. Ron is connected and visited frequently with supporters in Brazil, in Europe, and throughout the United States. So regardless of the challenges, progress has been made. We've had multiple celebrations of honorary degree recipients, including Bill Clinton. I think you might have seen him on the video that preceded this meeting, as well as Larry Bacow, the president of Harvard, who subsequently visited the University of Haifa once the COVID period was over. During the period of Ron's leadership, he was highly focused on the further development of the Larry Loki campus down near the port. And indeed, new buildings, new facilities, new programs have opened during that period of time. We also have a design school. We have new areas in graduate studies. So there are many, many new initiatives. And I say it was Ron's term, but it was really, and he would be the first to say this, many of the people on this call in the administration, the team that he built, and certainly the deans and faculty members who took a leadership role in these opportunities. I certainly also have to mention the cable car, because although we didn't pay for it and plan on it, the fact that there's now a cable car linking the main campus with the port is an extraordinary opening of the university to the rest of the city, to the rest of the country, and indeed making it easier to have access for the rest of the world. And there are many new initiatives throughout the world that the faculty have been working on during this time. In fact, one of the reasons why Gore is stranded in the United States right now, along with Connie Bitterman, our new dean of the Amir School of Medicine, is that they came here to meet with people at Harvard Medical School 2 weeks ago, as well as some other faculty members joined them to meet with members at Harvard Law School. So these relationships continue to develop, and I expect will continue to accelerate over the coming months and years. I do want to comment a little bit on the on Herta and Paul Amir, for whom the medical school is named. And I will say they are not only long-term supporters of the university, but they are really heroes of the state of Israel and the Jewish world and what they've done throughout their lives. Paul of blessed memory, and Herta, one of the most active people I have met in recent years in terms of her energy, her focus, and her creativity. So thank you to the entire family, and particularly Herta, if she's with us today. And if not, I know that she'll hear this message. A final reflection on Ron. I learned so much from Ron during the 5.5 years that I worked with him, and I continue to be in touch with him. we shared different perspectives and experiences, and really, I think, acted as sounding boards for the strategic initiatives that the university was facing throughout that time, and which we've now passed on to Gore and to the full team. I think that the university, under his leadership, reached new heights, and we all wish him extraordinary success in his new but not dissimilar role that he had in the past at NYU's Shanghai campus, where he's working with them on the next stage of their leadership development. And I know he's engaged because he's in touch with me and with Gore, with the university itself. So while Ron is not in the seat every day, he's very much front of mind and very much engaged in what is happening. Now turning to the team. During these years, in recent years, I had the opportunity to first meet Gore, who, as you know, was our rector and who provided tremendous support to Ron during this period of time. I think Gore would say that he really was able to be the inside person to work with the faculty, the deans, and others, so that Ron could focus his attentions more on the outside opportunities around the world. I have been working with Gore particularly since October 1st, when he took over as president. And so my calls with Ron have been replaced with my calls with Gore, and also Guidon and a few others here. And I think the continuity of leadership has been extraordinary and is especially useful at this time, probably in any academic institution in the world, but particularly in one that is dealing with the challenges in Israel. And it always surprises me how well the entire administration deals with the challenges that are coming up and facing us all the time. I also wanted to mention Duby Weissglass, who will be addressing you a little bit later. Duby, if you know his history, is an extraordinary leader in the history of the State of Israel. He is the chairman of our executive committee for a few years now, and we are extraordinarily fortunate to have him. He provided tremendous foundation for Ron, really bringing together the executive committee and reaching a consensus around those key strategic issues. So it was easy to deal with the challenges that everybody faced during this time. As a personal mentor, I've really appreciated my time with Duby, staying in touch with him, seeking his counsel and advice, and getting his perspective on all things, really. Duby also led the search process, which ended in the selection of Gore El-Ra'i, and I think as chairman of the executive committee, he now provides that continuity working with Gore, which is wonderful. I know I saw on the screen before Muna Maroon, who succeeded Gore as rector. She is an accomplished neuroscientist, and while Gore is a historian, she is kind of the bookmark on that, because the university has everything from the arts and history and social sciences to the natural sciences. And so it's wonderful that we have an academician like Muna with her training and experience to serve as rector, having been elected by the faculty last year. Since October of last year, I've worked with both of them. And while there's many other people on this call I would like to thank, this would be a much longer meeting than any of us would like if I went through the complete list. But the one person I would like to especially thank is Aviva Pear, the director of the Office of the President. If I spoke with Ron once a week and was texting with him, Aviva was on top of all the details, managing things, and whether Ron was in Israel or out of the country or dealing with the medical school or some other opportunity, Aviva was really front and center with him, managing the details and making sure that we followed through. So Aviva, thank you. I saw Libby earlier. Liat may be on. There's others in the team, but I wanted to in particularly call out your leadership and your help throughout this period of time. As I complete my formal role, although I can't predict the future any more than what I would have said 6 years ago, which of course would have been totally inaccurate, I am convinced that with our new board leadership, with Michal Amir Salkin and the academic leadership led by Gur and Muna that the university's momentum and prospects are extraordinary. I also, just before I pass the baton and get into the formal session, I want to thank my family, particularly my wife, Terry, who has been side by side with me throughout these 6 years, and her support in the activities that I've done at the university and throughout has been wonderful and extraordinary. So thank you, Terry, who's by my side here but prefers to be off camera. And finally, to our son Ross, who got involved with the School of Graduate Studies and is working to attract and evaluate postdoctoral students who are coming to the university currently and in the future. I look forward to remaining actively engaged with the university and to see many of you in Boston and in the years ahead in Israel and elsewhere. So with that, I will turn to the formal aspects of the meeting. One formal thank you I would like to do is to thank Ms. Tzili Charney for her outstanding service as Vice Chair of the Board of Governors. Tzili has been involved for many more years than myself. Her dedication, counsel, and steadfast commitment have been instrumental to our progress, and certainly her many contributions in the background have been extremely well received. So thank you very much, Tzili, and you're active in so many other things. I know we'll be hearing a lot about you and from you. Now I would like to begin the report regarding all fiduciary duties. If you have any questions, as Gidon mentioned, please share them in the Q&A, and we will leave time at the end to answer them. Thank you to all of the governors who voted for the university budget for the 24-25 academic year, which was ratified. Likewise, the financial statements of the university as of September 30th, 2024 were ratified, and the appointment of the university's CPAs for the academic year 2025-26 KPMG was also approved. You were also asked to ratify the appointment of key university position holders. I am happy to report that the following appointments were ratified. The meeting was opened by Mr. Gidon Hersher, who serves both as moderator of the session and as a newly appointed Vice President for Transformational Philanthropy and Global Resource Development, a position formally approved by the Board of Governors in early March. Gidon brings over 23 years of extensive experience in global philanthropic engagement and resource development. Prior to joining our university, he held senior leadership roles at the American Joint Distribution Committee, the JDC, where he led major international campaigns and strategic partnerships. And he played a key role in impactful humanitarian initiatives worldwide. Although we have only been working together for a few months, I would like to recognize Gidon's early achievements in this area. It's been a pleasure working with you, Gidon. And Gidon is off to an extraordinarily fast start, as seen on the ground in the States and elsewhere. So we have great expectations for the future, Gidon. I'm also pleased to inform you that the board has approved the appointment of Professor Oren Gazal Ayal as Vice President and Dean for Research and Development. Previously, he served as Dean of the Faculty of Law and Director of the Center for the Study of Crime, Law, and Society. Oren is a distinguished expert in criminal law, sentencing, and law and economics, with numerous publications in leading journals and frequent citations by the Israeli Supreme Court. I'm also pleased to update you that Professor Tali Katzgero, who serves as Vice President for Global Engagement, has had her appointment confirmed by the board. Tali is a full professor of sociology and head of the Division of Global Engagement at the University of Haifa. Her research focuses on the sociology of consumption, culture, environmental sociology, and social stratification, with extensive international academic experience and leadership roles in prominent sociological associations. Tali was here this past week with Gore, so I got to work with her directly. And the idea that we have somebody who is a senior professor who is engaged with universities and programs around the world full-time is, I think, a really important step forward as part of what Gore and Gidon are trying to do worldwide. So Gidon, Oren, and Tali, your success is our success. I'm also happy to report that the board has confirmed the reappointment of Mr. Sharon Zaid as Vice President and Director General. Sharon has served as a member of the University's Executive Committee since 2018, where I first met him, and has been an active volunteer in the community for over 2 decades. He now continues in this role as our new president begins his term. At this time, I would like to express our deepest condolences on the passing of Mr. Kamal Mansour, who served on the Board of Governors and was an honorary lifetime member. He passed away last year. Mr. Mansour was a distinguished leader, serving as an advisor on Arab affairs to presidents of the State of Israel, and was a recipient of the Israel Prize for Lifetime Achievement in 2010. He was a dedicated supporter of the university, known for his commitment to fostering community ties and advancing the institution's mission. May his memory be a blessing. Dear members of the Board of Governors, both newly appointed and those currently serving, before concluding my report, I would like to emphasize your vital importance as we depend on your active involvement. Your participation in board meetings and other meetings, your support of the university, and your efforts in resource development are crucial to our continued success. I encourage each of you to consider where your unique skills and influence can make a meaningful impact. We welcome and value your advocacy on behalf of the university in whatever capacity you choose, whether through fundraising, strategic brainstorming, providing counsel and introductions throughout the world. Gore and Muna are eager to collaborate with you and support your involvement. As governors, you hold a distinctive and influential role, and I urge every one of you to embrace this opportunity to engage more fully with the university's mission and challenges. Once again, if you have any questions, please write them down and we will address them at the end of the meeting. I wish to remind you that we welcome your thoughts and suggestions throughout the year. I think that Gidon mentioned the Q&A section over in the right part of your screen, which is the way to have comments along the way. That we will now proceed to the live voting, and this will be conducted through using Zoom's polling feature. A question will appear shortly on your screen for you to cast your vote. We kindly ask that board members and only board members to participate in confirming the appointments. Once the votes are collected and tallied by Einat, the coordinator of the Board of Governors, we will announce the results. The first vote, which I think will come up on the screen, is to confirm the extension of Dov Weissglass's appointment as chair of the Executive Committee for an additional 3-year term. Please cast your vote and submit as you see on the screen. Okay, I think we'll go to the second vote. We now proceed with the vote to confirm the appointment of the new chair of the Board of Governors, Dr. Michal Amir Salkin.
Just one moment. There we go. Now we're good.
Oh, there we are. As mentioned, when Gidon opened his remarks by introducing Michal, who was appointed to become chair of the Board of Governors, and Orna Wolons appointed as her vice chair, both of you who you recently approved just a few minutes ago, or online as our new board members. So please cast your vote for Michal.
Cannot vote.
I should mention that this was approved by the forum and by the executive committee, and there was a process leading up to that.
Cannot vote. I don't see where to vote.
I think over on the right bottom, if you need to find the place to vote, I think that ends it.
Correct.
Gidon, do you or Einat want to comment on the voting results?
Let's move ahead to the third and final vote. Orna Wallens as vice chair.
I'm sorry. Yes, there is
Yeah.
one. I apologize.
That's okay.
The last vote is for the confirmation for Orna Wallens as vice chair of the Board of Governors, which I think will come up now.
There it is. Okay, Mr. Chair, I can confirm that all of the motions made for these appointments have been approved by the members of the Board of Governors.
Wonderful. So that means I'm no longer Mr. Chair.
The beginning of the sentence was Mr. Chair, the ending apparently
Okay.
would be something new.
The transition is complete. So congratulations to my friend Duby Weissglass to continue as chair of the executive committee, and to Michal as our chair of the Board of Governors. And I know, Michal, you're going to do an extraordinary job, and looking forward to working with you. And to Orna, in your role as vice chair, likewise, looking forward to working with you and to having you and Michal and others, the entire board, lead the university forward in coordination with the board, with the executive committee, and with our leadership at the university. So I'm smiling, Michal. I see you. Thank you.
Michal, the floor
Yes.
is
Yes.
yours.
Okay, well then,
Yes,
thank
Madam
you.
Chair.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, everyone. I am deeply honored to take on the role of the chair of the Board of Governors of the University of Haifa. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the annual Board of Governors meeting. I must say that supporting the University of Haifa is a powerful way to express our love of Israel and confidence in her future, especially at this time. So once again, let me introduce myself. I am Michal Amir Salkin. Professionally, I am a medical doctor. I graduated from the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Columbia University. I did my residency at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. I had a private practice in obstetrics and gynecology for many years. And then after I retired, I taught at the University of Southern California's Keck School of Medicine. Community-wise, I have a long history of advocating for the support of Israel and the Jewish people, both in organized philanthropy and in private activity, as well as other issues regarding healthcare and education. But in the past few years, I have been most actively involved in working to reveal and reduce anti-Semitism in K through 12 schools, primarily in Los Angeles and California. I am married, and I have 2 children who graduated from high school last month and will be going off to college soon. Now, I want to tell you why the University of Haifa matters to me. My love for this university is really a legacy from my father, Paul, or Shmuel Amir of blessed memory. Pali arrived to Haifa in 1946 at 15 years old after surviving the Holocaust in Czechoslovakia. He co-founded Kibbutz Yechiam to the north, but also spent time living and working in the city itself. He loved Israel all his life, but his heart really belonged to Haifa. My father had been forced out of school when he was 8 years old and never had the chance to get a formal education, but Pali always kept learning from books, from people, from life, because he understood that success comes from using knowledge effectively. Receiving an honorary doctorate from the University of Haifa was truly one of the proudest moments of my father's life. The University of Haifa is an extraordinary school that gives all people the opportunity to learn. Whether Israeli Jew or Israeli Arab or Druze or a foreign national, whether a groundbreaking scientific researcher or a creative artist or a part-time student juggling a job and a family, everybody is welcome here to study, to question, to think. This university is a community that is not limited by the usual social distinctions. The other outstanding quality of the University of Haifa is its commitment to the practical application of academics. Its education and research is meant to be carried out of the proverbial ivory tower and into the real world, directly improving the lives of its students and of Israeli society as a whole. Soon, please God, it will be time for Israel to heal and rebuild. The University of Haifa is the right institution with the right philosophy to lead this work. And our new president, Gur Aroi, with his huge heart and his historian's understanding of how people are affected by world events, is the right man to lead the university at this time. Our multicultural, multidisciplinary school brings people together, not only students and faculty, but politicians and influencers and regular people, whether at an issue-focused conference or at a social event, to share their interests and life experiences. This puts the university in a unique position to learn what the needs on the street or in the field are, and then to develop data-driven strategies for managing those issues, and to provide guidance to local communities or even the central government if needed. One example that certainly touched my heart. The bombardment at the start of the war displaced tens of thousands of people, including many homebound elderly. But when the government asked everyone to return to the north earlier this year, some of the elderly did not want to leave because they preferred a hotel's lively environment to their previous isolation. Our School of Social Work and our departments of Community Mental Health, of Gerontology, and of Human Services within the Faculty of Social Welfare and Health Science can collaborate with each other and with communities in the region to develop practical and effective ways to provide the elderly population with the social interaction that every person needs for a good life. This is how the University of Haifa works, studying an issue from multiple perspectives, integrating research across disciplines, and then bringing solutions out of the university and into the real world. The new Herta and Paul Amir School of Medicine, which will open this October, will play a vital role in the rebuilding of Israel's north, improving access to quality medical care while nurturing the personal connections that are the foundation of a healthy and strong society. I have over 30 years' experience in healthcare and in medical education, so I am thrilled to work with our amazing President Gur Al-Roi and with the brilliant Dean, Dr. Chaim Bitterman, to establish a medical school that is on the cutting edge of education in its use of technology and in its community involvement. We will be training both our students' brains and their hearts. So now I have the privilege to put forth a motion to grant our beloved Brad Bloom, our outgoing chair, lifetime membership on the Board of Governors. But before we cast this vote, I would like to share a little bit about him. Brad Bloom is a highly respected leader of the Boston Jewish community. His love of Haifa runs long and deep, and he co-founded the Boston-Haifa Connection in 1989. Brad has been, as he told you, the chair of the Board of Governors over the past 6 years, a period of turmoil, COVID, October 7th, and the ongoing war. The university faced many dilemmas in this time regarding both its academic mission and its multicultural community, requiring rapid yet thoughtful responses. Brad advised and supported Ron Robin, who always talked with us about how he depended upon Brad, and our current president with his distinctive calm, warmth, and confidence. And in addition to this guidance, Brad and his family have made generous investments in the university's academic growth, such as the Bloom Graduate School. Brad, you are a remarkable person who has had a tremendous impact. And so I am submitting this motion for lifetime membership on our Board of Governors. We cannot let you go. Again, the vote will once again be conducted using Zoom's polling feature. The question will appear on your screen shortly for you to cast your vote. Please, according to our guidelines, only board members may cast a vote. Once the votes are collected and tallied, Gidon will announce the results.
Okay, Madam Chair, the motion has been approved fully.
Thank you, Gidon. And thank you, Brad. Your continued guidance will be invaluable, certainly to me and to the whole university.
Thank you, Michal, for your kind words and for the future.
And now I would like to introduce my sister, Orna Woolens, who will be taking on the role of Vice Chair.
Thank you, Michal, so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Orna Woolens, and I am truly honored and accept this great privilege of being appointed as Vice Chair of the University of Haifa's Board of Governors. I have to say to my sister, Michal, number one, as a sister, I am so proud of you. And number two, to the entire University of Haifa community, as you can see from her recent remarks, Michal is incredibly bright, incredibly hardworking, has an enormous attention to detail, a very intense focus on doing what is right and what is good, and a really unique ability to express herself beautifully and to bring people together. I know that the University of Haifa will only bloom and grow and do such important work under your leadership. So we are all very fortunate to have Michal as the current chair of the University of Haifa Board of Governors. Brad, I would also like to express my deep appreciation for the enormous work that you have undertaken in the past 6 years. I know that they have been challenging. They continue to be challenging, sadly, and yet your collaborative nature, your ability to foster relationships, your ease in speaking with people, and your really great strength as being a mentor has helped so many in the University of Haifa community and really has allowed the University of Haifa to flourish. So I thank you as well. I also want to express my great appreciation to Goro Alroy, to Muna Moran, to Gideon Hersher, and to Chaim Bitterman. I look forward to working with all of you, and it will be an extraordinary experience. I am actually the current chair of the Los Angeles Jewish Federation. There are 640,000 Jews in Los Angeles. We are the third largest Jewish population, and we have also had the last 6 years have been challenging and harrowing in their own rights. I move through the world guided by the fundamental belief that Kol Yisrael Aravim Ze B'Zeh, all of Israel is responsible for one another. And I have to say that this very strong way of moving through the world is something that I learned in my family's home from my parents, Herta and Paul Amir. And I must express my enormous love and gratitude to Herta and Paul for their indomitable will to live, for their strong care for the Jewish people wherever they may be, and for their enormous love of the state of Israel, which, as Michal expressed earlier, certainly formed very much who Michal and I are and how our families live as well. As chair of the Jewish Federation, I have seen how important it is to make sure that we are all able to live safe, productive lives filled with joy and hope. And as vice chair of the Board of Governors of the University of Haifa, and as all of us here on this call deeply, deeply hope for and will work for, we are committed to ensuring a vibrant, thriving state of Israel. The University of Haifa is unique in its role as a gatherer, as a collaborator, as an innovator of allowing people to work well together, of allowing people to speak openly, of encouraging thought, of encouraging questioning. And as Israel experiences the most traumatic period that we have known since the establishment of the State of Israel, I know that my purpose, that Michal's purpose, that the purpose of the Board of Governors and all of us on this call is to stand with Israel, to assist in the recovery, healing, and rebuilding, be it physically, emotionally, socially, and I know that we can do this. So may we all go from strength to strength together. Thank you.
Thank you, Michal, Orna, and of course, Brad, for your thoughtful remarks. We are grateful to you for joining the leadership of the Board of Governors, specifically, of course, Michal and Orna, and for your commitment to advancing its work during these challenging times in Israel and abroad. Brad Bloom, for your many years of dedicated leadership of the board and your unwavering commitment to the university, its faculty, its students, and the state of Israel, we offer a multitude of thanks. Now we're going to transition to brief reports from the leadership of the university, starting with the chair of the executive committee, Dubi Weissglass, and then moving on to President Gur El-Rui, who has joined us from the airport, but will be sharing a pre-recorded brief message and will be available later on in the meeting for any questions that you would like to ask the president. And of course, our rector, Muna Maron, will be closing out the reports for today. Chair of our executive committee, Dubi Weissglass, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Gidon. Thank you very much, friends, for your attendance here. Of course, whatever has been said about Brad is not enough. I enjoyed enormously our friendship, his wisdom, his manners, his pleasantness, and his great leadership of the university, his devotion. Of course, we all welcome our new chair and the vice chair. Wish them luck and success. We, as the members of the executive committee, will do our best to bring about the success, and because this is our home and this is our education. I don't have to mention the situation in Israel is never been before. You know, unfortunately, I wasn't born yesterday. I've been through all the crises that we've gone through since 1956. We are now on the verge of almost 3 impossible years, starting with this attempt of the current government to ruin our system of governance, to ruin the Israeli democracy, through these devastating events of October 7, and now with the current armed conflict with Iran. And in this context, I would like to mourn our law student, Shida Khatib, from the village of Tamra, which was murdered by the Iranian savages in this devastating event in Tamra. So we don't know what happened, given, so your friendship, your support, never been so needed as it is now. Now for almost a week, we are locked at home. And, you know, somebody sent me a kind of a joke that one is writing to the other that he didn't realize that to stay so long at home, it's not boring at all, he said. Yet I learned that in one bag of rice, I found 4,855 grains of rice, while in the other bag, there was 4,761 grain of rice. So that's what we do. We stay home, watching the news, having no idea where it goes to, and we are counting the grains of rice. Let's hope for the best, and please stay with us all along this difficult way. And now it is my privilege to switch the mic to our president, Gur Alroi.
Dear members of the Board of Governors, if you are watching this recording, it means I'm likely on a rescue flight back to Israel. I'm concluding my first year as president of the University of Haifa. I arrived at these institutions as a young faculty member 24 years ago, and I'm proud to now lead it. It has been a challenging year on every level, and I believe we met those challenges. Leading a university during wartime is no simple task. We are in the midst of a war with a country that has repeatedly declared its intention to destroy the state of Israel. If there is one thing we have learned from October 7th, is that when your enemies say they want to destroy you, you should believe them. The state of Israel, and Haifa in particular, is under attack by ballistic missiles, causing widespread destructions. Among the homes hit was that of Professor Belo Painero from our School of Design, a recipient of the Israel Prize. His home was destroyed in the most recent attack. You can see the photo at the bottom of the slide. So far, over 20 Israeli civilians have been killed, including Shada, a promising student in our Faculty of Law. She died along with her sister, mother, and aunt, a deeply painful family tragedy. Our heart is with the surviving father, and I will visit him as soon as I return to Israel. What have we achieved this past year? We launched the Home Again campaign, a campaign I'm particularly proud of because it reflects the unique character of our university. We are defined by our applied research. Dozens of faculty members from across all disciplines are engaged in the community and driving social change. We are not an ivory tower. We are a vibrant and active academic community determined to make an impact. As president, standing at this historic crossroads, I believe I have a civic and national, not just academic, duty to help rebuild the North. The University of Haifa has the capacity to lead this effort. I am proud to head a university whose faculty are deeply connected to society and driven to make a difference. We will be judged not only by the quality of our research, but also by our contribution to the rehabilitation of the North and the return of its residents to their homes. One of our most exciting challenges ahead is the opening of the Shmuel and Herta Amir Medical School. In October 2025, our first class of 64 medical students will begin their studies. It is a historic turning point of our university. In the coming months, we will begin constructions of the new facility designed by architect Moshe Safdie. This school could not have come to life without Herta Amir, one of the most remarkable women I ever met in my life. A 92 years old Holocaust survivor, a lover of Israel, and devoted support of the University of Haifa. A few months ago, I joined her on the March of the Living in Auschwitz-Birkenau, a deeply moving experience. It has been a privilege to get to know Herta, to listen and learn from her. My connection with Herta is deep and personal, and I am proud of it. I could not be happier that her two daughters, Orna and Michal, are joining to the university's leaderships and continuing the legacy of Shmuel, zichro livracha, and Herta, tibadel lechaim arukim, in building both the university and the region. They are both remarkable women, and I look forward to working with them closely. I want to express my deep gratitude to outgoing Chair Brad Bloom for his generous contribution to the medical school and for establishing a permanent endowment to support its day-to-day operations. And I would also like to highlight Brad's contribution to the establishment of the Bloom School for Graduate Studies, a one-of-a-kind institution in Israel that has become a true home for our doctoral and postdoctoral students. It is a place where they acquire the academic skills essential for advancing their careers. Alongside the medical school, we will establish the Israeli Advanced Center for Nursing. Thanks to a very generous gift, we will become the world's leading academic institution in nursing, and together with the medical school, we will transform healthcare in northern Israel. Another major challenge ahead is strengthening solidarity across all parts of Israeli society, between Jews and Arabs, religious and seculars, Ashkenazis and Sephardi, ultra-Orthodox, Haredim, and Ethiopian Israelis. Without civil solidarity, we cannot exist as a society. I'm proud, very proud, to announce the establishment of the Free Center for Shared Society, a first of its kind institution in Israel that will promote research, teaching, and social impact. My deepest thanks go to Michael and Linda Fries, true friends of the university and of the State of Israel, for their generous gift that made this center possible. Their trust in the university and its power to make an impact means the world to us. Our commitment to transforming society is what truly set us apart from other universities. The Dry Foundation is also supporting us with generous gifts to build our Haifa Innovation Lab, HIL. In the coming days, we will begin renovation in 69 Anamal Street near the Amir building. This innovation lab is designed to bring together social needs and technology to develop practical solutions for challenges like wildfires, diseases, and road accidents. I'm also pleased to introduce you Derek Schulman, CEO of our American Friends Association. We spent many hours together this week, and I was deeply impressed by his leadership, talents, and the tireless work of the entire Friends team in the United States. Thank you to each and every one of you. I also want to introduce Claudia Harel, who is leading our philanthropic efforts in Israel. I'm confident that thanks to her many talents, we will also succeed in raising significant funds locally. Wishing both Derek and Claudia great success. In closing, I want to thank Brad Bloom, who served as chair of the board for the past 6 years. I first met Brad during my previous role as rector, and I came to know him more deeply in these first years as president. It has been an honor and a privilege to work with him. I am always telling my students in the first class of the semester that the State of Israel is a shared project between the Jews who came to live here and the Jews of the diaspora. Every time Israeli society collaborates with world Jewry, especially American Jewry, the sky is the limit. Bread is a shining example of the profound connection between American Jewry and the State of Israel, between him and the city of Haifa, and of course between him and the University of Haifa. On behalf of the entire University of Haifa community, I extend my heartfelt thanks for you have done to help us thrive. In October, we will award Brad an honorary doctorate in Boston in recognition of his extraordinary contribution to Israel, to Haifa, and to the university. You are all invited. Let me conclude by welcoming Michal and Orna into the university's leaderships. Together, we will achieve great things. I cannot end my report without prayer for the return of the 50 brothers and sisters still held hostage in Gaza, the dead to be brought for burial in Israel, the living to be rehabilitated and reunited with the families. Thank you.
Thank you, President El-Rui. And of course, we're looking forward to welcoming you back home after an unexpected extended stay in the US. And thank you for being with us from the airport. Now we transfer the baton to our rector, Muna Maron, Professor Muna Maron, for her report. Muna, the floor is yours.
Hi, good evening, Erev Tov, Masal Khair. First of all, I would like to wish our president, Professor Gur Arui, a safe return to Israel. I had the chance and the privilege to be rescued last week from Cyprus. I was on my way together with the Professor Oren Gazal Ayal, Vice President and Dean of Research. We were in an academic visit in Oxford and in London, and instead of landing into Tel Aviv, so we landed in Cyprus, and I was very lucky to come back home on last Wednesday. I also wish that our delegation of Ruderman program, our 20 students, that they are now also in New York, that they will find also a rescue flight and they will come back home. It is really amazing to know that we, the Israeli, and it doesn't matter whether we are Jews or Arabs, that we now would like to be in our country, in our home. It means that we are leaving the vacation places, the safe places, and we would like to be under missile attacks because it is our home. So I will share my presentation. And I would like to start by Shada Khatib. Shada Khatib was was a second-year student in our law faculty. Professor Itamar Mann, a professor in the law faculty, he wrote in all social media, and it was translated into Arabic, Hebrew, and English. And I cite, "My heart broke reading that Shada Khatib was killed by the missile that struck Tamra village last night. Shada was my student last year at the University of Haifa in the legal theory course. Throughout the semester, she was quiet, but in her curious eyes, I could see how she absorbed every word. Like all the students, Shada was required to participate in a designated session. And when it was her turn, she jumped in with answers about the material, sometimes almost finishing my sentences. I asked her, smiling, "Do you want to stand here in my place?" I was a bit surprised by how quickly she replied, "Yes, maybe in a few years." Shada embodied everything the University of Haifa stands for: a commitment to academic excellence, social mobility, and keep engagement with society. As a young woman from a minority background, she found at our university not only a place of learning, but a place for search of justice, a place where her dreams were possible. In her quiet presence and determined curiosity, Shada represented the promise of what higher education can offer, a bridge between communities, a path to opportunity, and a space where voices like hers are heard, empowered, and celebrated. This is our University of Haifa. This is what we want our University of Haifa to look like. Shada was among 16,016 students, and according to the Central Bureau of Statistics, we had an increase of 286 students, and we arrived to the quota that were designated by the Council of Higher Education. This means that across the years, we had increased in the number of students that they want to study in the University of Haifa. When we look at the metrics of Haifa University, 47% of our students are first generation to higher education. 40% of our students are from the Arab society. 35% of our undergrads are from the periphery. And when we look at the real revolution in the higher education, we can see that 65% of our students are women. Looking at our faculty member, it is almost half females and half males. And I want to say, before saying congratulations to Michal and Orna, and if I remember well, and they are the first woman, Michal will be the first woman to be a chair of the board of governors in our university. We have 3 campuses, one at the Mount Carmel, the other one in the city, and the other one is the School of Design in the German Colony campus. We have 6 faculties and 3 schools, and we have the newly Herta and Paul Amir, which will open its doors on October 2025. We have international programs, and we have interdisciplinary research center that they promote excellence. My vision is rooted in a deep commitment to academic and research excellence, societal impact, and inclusive growth. At the heart of this vision is our strategic investment in expanding the university's scientific and technological footprint. And this includes the recent establishment of our Herta and Paul Amir School of Medicine. And according to what Michal said, it's going to be a game changer, not only in our university, but also in healing the north of Israel. And the upcoming Faculty of Computer Sciences and Information that we hope that it was supposed to be approved in the Senate of the university last week. However, we postponed this new faculty establishment because of the situation in Israel. These transformative developments not only strengthen our research ecosystem, but also position the university as a hub for interdisciplinary innovation through connections with the existing excellent faculties that we have at the University of Haifa. And we will be capable of attracting top-tier students and scholars from across the country and the world. Another cornerstone of our academic vision is the creation of a School of Environmental Studies, which will bring together the university's strength in biology, environmental science, sustainability, and marine sciences under one interdisciplinary umbrella. Situated in the unique ecological and geopolitical landscape of the north of Israel, this school will offer a singular platform for addressing urgent environmental challenges that they are specific to our region, including biodiversity conservation, marine ecosystem protection, sustainable resource management, and climate resilience. It will serve as a national and regional center of excellence for education and research, in environmental sustainability, while also deepening our engagement with local communities, policymakers, and industries. By embracing artificial intelligence as both a research domain and an enabling technology, we aim to generate cutting-edge knowledge, develop impactful solutions to societal challenges, and prepare the next generation to lead in a rapidly changing world while emphasizing the comprehension of ethics in using AI. A key pillar of our academic strategy is going to be the development of new study programs that they are built around a flexible major and minor model, where the minor is designated to enhance the student's readiness for evolving into the job market. In particular, we are integrating artificial intelligence and big data analysis of big data in diverse disciplines that will enable students in the humanities, in social sciences, life sciences, education, and law and beyond to acquire critical technological skills and the integration in the job market later on. I would like to say thank you very much for Brad Bloom. Over the past year, Bloom Fellows have distinguished themselves through publications in leading academic journals, presentations at national and international conferences, multiple awards recognizing academic excellence, including travel grants to present at conferences, Best Poster Presentation Awards, the prestigious Adams and Award and the Ministry of Regional Cooperation, and much more. And this was really because of your support, Mr. Brad Bloom. I want also to say that Bloom Postdoctoral Fellows were, since 2023, 4 Bloom Postdoctoral Fellows were recently appointed to tenure-track positions at the University of Haifa for the upcoming academic years. Dr. Vanessa Linares, School of Archaeology and Maritime Cultures, Dr. Amir Farjoun, Department of Theater and Performance, Dr. Shlomit Vigoda Cohen, Department of Philosophy, and Dr. Ziv Ben-Zion, School of Public Health. Brad, thank you very much. The resilience of a community is strengthened and sustained by higher education. The University of Haifa plays a vital role in strengthening community resilience by educating a diverse student body, engaging in excellent and impactful research, and serving as platforms for shared vision and collective recovery. We are doing all our efforts to fight against academic boycott because we do believe that academic boycott is counterproductive to the freedom in academia. We join the prayers for the release of hostages and to the end of the war between Israel and Gaza. I would like to say thank you to the President and Vice President Sharon, to the President Gur Aroi, and the Vice President and Director General Sharon Zayed, the administrative staff of the Rector's Office headed by Dr. Vardit Gerber. I want to say thank you to the deans, because I would like to extend my appreciation for their dedication, leadership, and collaboration. The support and commitment are essential to the progress of our university, and I'm deeply grateful for their efforts, especially during these challenges times. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Maroon. We'd like to transition and keep you right there if you don't mind. We'd like to transition to questions that have come up throughout the conversation. We have really enough time for 2 because we recognize that we're running a little bit late, but this has been a very fast-paced, informative, and substantive meeting. So thank you everyone that has participated and contributed. Professor Maroon, the question that is on the table relates to the different wars that we are contending with in Israel, in Haifa, and maybe more specifically at the University of Haifa. The question is, how has the war affected enrollment, retention, and faculty morale? And we also have the President El-Roi with us, who can relate to this after you relate to it first. please unmute yourself.
Mona, you're muted.
Can someone help unmute?
I did it. Okay.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, I did it. Thank you very much. So as you can see that there is an increase in the number of students that we have in the university, and this is an increase that we didn't see since the past 5 years. However, because I presented a table so we can see the statistics show that there is an increase in the number of undergraduate students. However, there is a small and a minor decrease in the number of master students and PhD. And this is mainly because of the effects on the influences of not only the war, and not only starting from October 2023, but also these influences started from COVID during 1920. Because these days and higher education, we can see that it is a platform for social mobility. However, graduate studies, the master's degree and PhD degrees, it seems like it is a privilege more than a necessity in this during these days because of the economical situation. So I think we will expect that maybe in 1 year and 2 that we will have also an increase in the number of graduate studies. Another thing, the situation is really crazy in Israel, and it is affecting our moral and mental health. And I must say our faculty members are doing, as the President Arroy said, we are doing really our most efforts in order to provide mental health support for the population in the north. And here I would like to mention 2 persons that I did not really mention. First of all, Professor Batya Yeager, who is the Dean of the Students, who is working very, very hard with her team across 24 hours a day in order really to support mental health and the psychological support for our students and our faculty members, and of course our Dean of Graduate Studies, Professor Rita Kirov.
Thank you, and President Ori looks like from the lounge of an airport on his way home. If you can unmute yourself and also relate, please, to the question.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, okay. I am about 45 minutes before boarding after a week in the United States. So I'm very glad to be back home. I miss Israel, I miss my family, and it's very exciting to see the Israel flag here very close to gate 2, A2. Now, regarding your question, Gidon, the war affects Israeli society and of course affected on the University of Haifa as well. I would like to add to what Mona said that we have students who are a miluim in the reserve duty who need our support. Her family need our support, women and children, and we have to help them to find the balance between the academic studies, which is extremely important, but also their contribution to the Israeli society by going to the miluim. So I would say that today, from my perspective, it's going to be a key priority in my fundraising effort, just to help that wonderful students who are going to the miluim. And as I said, we also must support the families of the miluimnikim, of the reservists. Managing diverse campus during wartime is not easy, I have to say, but I believe that we are doing it with great success. And if there is a good model how to manage university and even a diverse society, I would say that the University of Haifa. We are really a wonderful example of shared society, and I'm very optimistic about the future. So although we are in war, I still believe in the University of Haifa. I believe in our model, and I am very optimistic about the future.
Thank you, Professor and President Ellery. We're wishing you a safe trip home, and we eagerly await the opportunity to welcome you back at the university. There is one additional question that I would be happy to relate to, which relates to the decision to move the Board of Governors gathering to Boston later this year. I do want to clarify for all members of the Board of Governors that what you've just participated in is actually the working meeting of the annual Board of Governors. It is where we fulfill our fiduciary obligations, and this is our responsibility and our obligation. The reason for exploring new frontiers in terms of a University of Haifa Board of Governors gathering is simply to expand and increase our exposure, to welcome new supporters into the tent, and to raise awareness as to the absolute gems that so many people deserve to know about that are taking place in the University of Haifa. We truly hope that as many people on this call will be able to join us in person there. There will also be some virtual opportunities as well. Again, I want to reiterate that we will be sending out an email with the new dates at the end of this meeting. With that said, friends, supporters, and members of the University of Haifa Board of Governors, I want to invite our new chair to share her concluding remarks, and then we will bid you all a good and safe evening from Haifa. Madam Chair.
Very simply, once again, I just want to thank you all for joining this 53rd annual Board of Governors meeting. And I hope to have the chance to meet all of you in Boston in person in October. In closing, I ask that we all hold in our thoughts and our prayers the safe return of every hostage, and pray for the promise of brighter days ahead for everyone living in the region.
Amen.
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 Amen. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day or a very good night, and see you in Boston.